Hey guys, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday. Of course, I am your host, just Jocelyn. How's everybody doing tonight? Today is season 6, episode 13, I believe. I'm going to fact check on the number of episodes, but we are at episode 13 in season 6. So we're at like 113 episodes of Talk to Me Tuesday. So, of course, I appreciate you all as usual. Thanks for tuning in each and every Tuesday with me live at 9 p.m. For all of those who have been tuning into All Nighter as well, we moved the time to Thursdays from 10 to midnight. So that show has been doing amazing. Shout out to everybody that is following me and following Just Be You Radio on Stationhead app. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody who's been on JustBeYouTV.com. I just want to say thank you to everybody. Hello to all of you guys who are coming in. And just welcome to the show. Tonight we are talking the 5 love languages. So we're going to get into the 5 love languages today. We're going to talk all about them. I'm going to explain what they are, as well as, explain how to express, how to learn your partner's love language, the importance it is to know your own love language prior to dating, as well as even if you're single and you're not dating, you're not in a relationship, you're not married, anything like that, it's still very important to know what your love language is so that you know how not only you express love, but how you experience love as well. So that's what I'm going to talk about today. And I just wanted to, of course, start off with a huge thank you to all of you guys for supporting me and everything that I've been doing so far, because the shows have been great. All Nighter has been amazing. The feedback on the website has been awesome. The feedback Talk to Me Tuesday, like everything is just going good. So I'm happy. Hope you guys are happy. Of course, if you ever have any topic suggestions for Talk to Me Tuesday or for All Nighter, you can always DM me, email me, call me, text me, comment on any of my posts, whatever the case, and I will try to get to the topics, base a show around it. I want to give y'all what y'all want. Like this show is for you guys. Like I do it here, but it's for all of us. So I try to make sure that we all, do it cohesively and, stay in tune with each other. So I do try to be very mindful on what it is that you guys are needing and wanting from me. So if y'all don't tell me, then I don't know. So that's my way of keeping everybody involved. Another brief thing, some of you guys may have seen my Protect Our Sons post the other day. Shout out to Ava DuVernay. I'm not going to go too much into detail in regards to the show. If you haven't seen When They See Us, y'all should go watch it. But, they're not sponsoring Talk to Me Tuesday, so I'm not going to go too much into that. However, I do have a super big project that I'm working on. And that, that docuseries kind of more so just reignited the flame that I already had in regards to that topic. So definitely stay tuned. Stay tuned for the details on that project, because it will be an awesome situation. Also, if you're on this live, I ask that if you can share this live to 5 of your friends, 5 of your Instagram friends and followers. Share it right now. So before we get into the topic, so you can tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to go and get on here on Talk to Me Tuesday, so we can get into these 5 love languages. So I want to first start with anybody that has either read the book, The 5 Love Languages, or just know what they are. If you know what they are, or if you read the book, most of y'all got emojis. So if you read the book, put a book or say book, and if you just know what they are, then just say that. But I'm just interested before I get started to know, just to have an idea of who's already aware of, of the 5 love languages, who has an idea of what they are. You read it. Okay. Hey, Tanisha. So anybody else that's read it or are aware of what the 5 love languages are, I want to know, just confirm. Yes. Okay. All right, Natalie, you know what they are. All right, cool. So most of us are pretty in tune. Okay. So somebody named them here on Facebook. Shout out to you. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while as well. So, and I appreciate y'all all tuning in. Y'all be going for too long. Now it's time to bring it back. Like, so I be sometimes I be, seeing y'all, and then I don't see y'all, then I see y'all. So I appreciate the continued support. It does mean like the absolute world to me. So I do want to let y'all know that. So, so most of you guys, it looks like you either read the book or you're aware of what the 5 love languages are. For anybody that does not, or just a refresher for everybody who does, the 5 love languages are, of course, acts of service, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch. So we're going to break down each of these love languages. I promise to make this a very, very detailed show. I'm going to try to give as much information as I can. If it's any feedback that you have, or if it's anything, feedback that you have, any questions that you have, or you want to be interactive with the conversation, please don't hesitate to comment. I try to get to everyone's comments, so if I don't get to it right away, sometimes there is like a little delay, but just make sure y'all come on, keep commenting, keep responding, so that we can continue to be interactive. If it's something you don't understand, if I'm talking too fast, if I went over something too fast, or you just have another question, just don't hesitate to let me know. Okay? So I'm just going to start off with just a brief description on what each of the love languages actually means and looks like, because I think that's just a good place to start. Once we know what we're doing, what we're talking about, then we can kind of go from there. So in regards to the definition, so we're just going to break down. Acts of service typically, ideally is just doing something to lighten the load. So not just not doing anything for your partner, but something meaningful, something that is, shows that you went out of your way to help them, something of service, not just, opening up the door, which opening the door is cute, but it's not really showing, it's not like an act of service, in my opinion. And some of you guys can agree or disagree. My butt was sticking to the chair, I'm sorry. Some of you guys can agree or disagree, but the act of service is simply, something that you're going out of your way to lighten the load of your partner. Something that you wouldn't typically do, that you doing it for them makes a big difference. So it's all about how you're trying to show your love to that person. And this is, again, how we not only express but experience. So I'm going to go into the difference between how we express these things and how we experience them, but I did just want to start with letting you guys know that. So acts of service is actually doing something to serve your partner, to serve that person, to show them that you're doing something that they need, that you wouldn't typically do or need to do or have to do, and I'll get into more detail with that. Words of affirmation. So words of affirmation is basically encourage, affirm, appreciate, and listen actively. So that is basically continuing to, assure your partner, give that constant reassurance in the form of verbalization. I really care about you. I really love you. You really mean the world to me. I'm so grateful for you. I really appreciate you. I'm so thankful for you. You mean the world to me. You're so beautiful. You're so great. You're amazing. You're awesome. I don't know what my life would be without you. All of those things are words of affirmation. You're affirming to that person. You're just kind of more so not confirming, but affirming your current feelings, which they should already know. But when you continue to affirm them, it's just like you're just kind of speaking it and letting them really know this is how I feel, and you're just going to consistently tell them. And it doesn't have to be in a real, superficial manner, and don't just be talking just to say shit. But, if you really feel these things, then just make somebody aware. If it's something that you feel, don't hold in your thoughts and hold in your feelings. Speak on it. So that's typically what a word of affirmation is. Receiving gifts. So a lot of us, express or experience love by the gifts that we give or the gifts that we get. So in regards to receiving gifts, it's typically thoughtful gifts or gestures. So if somebody is, not just buying you shit, right? So it's a difference, ladies or fellas. You can tell the difference between somebody that just buys you, it could be, I'm trying to work on my examples. Somebody can buy you anything, buy you some food, buy you a chain, buy you a bracelet, buy you a Rolex, buy you some shoes. But if it's some thoughtfulness behind it or some actual careful consideration, or they put real live effort and thought into something that they purchased for you, then, that is a gift that would matter. Now some people, we're going to get into the difference in how some of you guys are interpreting these things, but this is just the basics. Quality time. So quality time is uninterrupted time with your partner. So that means, if you know, when y'all do spend time together, y'all are actually like making the most of the time. Not just, oh, you're there, I'm here, you in the living room, I'm upstairs in my room. No, like we're together. We're up under each other. We're, you know, watching TV, we're watching a movie, playing a game, you know, talking, laughing, sharing jokes, sharing thoughts, talking about our day, you know, actually making the most out of our time, like that there's some quality behind the time that we're spending, and it's not just empty time where you're on your phone, I'm on my phone, but we both just in each other's presence. Sometimes being in that person's presence is enough, but it depends on what you're doing. Now, sometimes, you know, quality time could be you here, I'm there, and we're not doing anything. However, it's still uninterrupted and it's quality time. We don't have to be doing an actual activity, but just us being succumbed in each other's presence is usually enough. So that's one aspect of it. But when you're not doing anything and then you getting bored, so you all texting and you scrolling on Instagram or you watching Talk to Me Tuesday, it's just like, okay, it's not the same quality as maybe if y'all are watching Talk to Me Tuesday together and it's just like, hey babe, look, let's get into this. But if I'm just over here in my own world and this is what I'm indulging in, then it's totally different. You follow what I'm saying? So yeah, that's quality time. And last but not least is physical touch. So physical touch is nonverbal communication. It's nonverbal use of body language and touch. So that is those simple, you know, shoulder rub and, you know, holding hands and massaging your scalp and touching my face and, you know, just being real like touchy feely, like, oh my goodness, I just miss you. Whole lot of hugs and kisses and, you know, all that caressing. That's physical touch. So that a lot of people, that's how they speak, that's how they show their love, that's how they exhibit their love, and that's how they experience love, through physical touch. So that nonverbal communication is, you know, how some people receive and express their love. So those are the 5 love languages. Does everybody understand so far where we are? Did everybody know those? Was everybody sure what we were talking about? Already knew that those were the definitions and, you know, what the 5 love languages were. Okay, and to anybody that's just coming in, we're talking 5 love languages today. And I just basically went over what the 5 love languages are one more time for a quick rehab. Acts of service, which is, again, doing something to lighten the load for your partner. Words of affirmation, encourage, affirm, appreciate, and listen actively. I'm going to get into the listening part. Receiving gifts, thoughtful gifts and gestures. Thoughtful gifts and gestures. Quality time, uninterrupted time together, where you're actually engaging with each other. And then, of course, physical touch, where, you know, nonverbal communication using body language and touch. So, now that we know what they are, let's talk about how we exhibit them, right? And again, I like to highlight that, you know, the 5 love languages are described as ways that we, as humans, express and experience love. Most often, or more often than not, especially when there are issues in relationships or situationships or whatever the case, most people, we focus on one and not the other. Like one or the other, so to speak. So it's like you either focusing on expressing the love or experiencing the love. And it's very, 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 very important to know your own love language. Anybody that does not know what their love language is, I strongly encourage you to look up. There's like a little quiz assessment type of situation where you can look up, you know, there's just a brief thing online. You can Google it. Y'all can search it. If y'all need the link, I will send it to you guys. Again, the author of this book is not sponsoring Talk to Me Tuesday, so I'm not really responsible. However, I'll be more than happy to share the link with you guys. If you search on Google, you should be able to look up the quiz and just take it and, you know, just to kind of understand and identify yourself and what your love language is, because that's going to be the most important. So I encourage you all to take the quiz after the show is over. Please, 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 please take the quiz. Just so you know, just so you're aware. Because a lot of us, number one, we don't know. We don't know what yes, Gary Chapman. we don't know what our love language is. And I know me personally, okay, moment of transparency. I actually just took the quiz for the first time last year. Now, I'm 33. I'm not saying that it's based on your age or anything like that, but I've been in hella relationships. I've been in a lot of relationships. I've been married, divorced, engaged 3 times. I have children, and I never even knew that there was a love language. And then, I did take the quiz, and it brought so much to light to me. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, what the fuck is this all about? It wasn't like a scam or anything. But just taking the quiz, it just helped me more so acknowledge myself. Because there isn't any right or wrong answers. It's not like, oh, you're going to get 100%, or, you're stupid, or you're great, or you're awesome. It's not like that. It's more so just breaking down and understanding, the way that you, again, express and experience love. Because, again, if you take the time to find that out about yourself, then it will help your dealings with other people. Will help them tremendously. Because if you already know the way you express and experience love, then it's going to help you when you moving into any of these relationships. Again, whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, a marriage, whatever the case, once you took that time to know who you are and know the way you experience and and express love, then it helps your dealings with other people go a lot smoother. Knowing your partner's love language is very important too. Yes, I was basically going to get to that. The most important is knowing your love language. But once you know yours, you have got to, before you go into the world of dating, know your own. The first thing I do at this point, when I see somebody, when I meet them, if I decide, even if I don't like them yet, if I'm talking to you and we just met and you seem like you have like an interest in me, what's your love language? Because, and I reference this in Talk to Me Tuesday a lot. We've never done a full show on the love languages, but I reference it a lot because of its, of course, importance. And the love language, although there are 5 different terms, but your partner's love language and your love language is basically just like we speak English, or I speak English, and some people speak Spanish, some people speak Chinese, some people speak sign language, some people speak Mandarin, some people speak Italian. It's really like that important, because you have to understand how you're going to communicate with this person. How are you going to communicate with that person? How are they going to communicate with you? How are you guys going to interact without being aware of how that person communicates? If you decide to date a Chinese person and they don't speak no English, I hope I wasn't being disrespectful to anybody, but I couldn't refrain, and they don't speak English, then you're already mentally aware that I'm going to either have to learn Chinese, or I'm going to have to start studying up on it, or figuring out how am I going to communicate with this person? I'm going to need to learn how to write it. I'm going to need to teach them English. Something is going to have to work, because other than that, I'm not going to penetrate to you. You're not going to ever understand nothing I'm saying, because we don't speak the same language. And if you think about it like that, then it's so much easier, and you're so much more receptive to that, that working through process. Hope you love your partner the way they want to be loved, not the way you want to love them. Yes, we'll delve deeper into it. But it's definitely, extremely important to know your language first. So, like I said, I encourage all of you guys to take the quiz, at your earliest convenience, preferably after the show. Don't go off the show and search it right now, but I will post a link in my Insta story when we're done. I'll post it on my Facebook as well, because like I said, I just encourage everybody to take it and start with yours. So, again, most of us focus on the way we express love, right? So the way we express love is my love language. For example, if my love language is act of service, I'm going to express my love to you by doing all the things, showing you like, hey, I'm doing this for you. Hey, I'm doing this for you. I'm going to continue to express my love in that way. If my love language is words of affirmation, I'm going to always affirm and tell you how I feel and explain to you, and always sending you long messages or write you letters, or always being very open and honest and fluid with my feelings, because that's how I express my love to you. If my love language is receiving gifts, then I'm probably going to express them by always buying you gifts as well. Now, sometimes that doesn't work the same, and I'll get into it because it's not always that cut and dry. But 9 times out of 10, we kind of do, we express the way we want to experience. Not the way we do, but the way we want to experience. Quality time. If my love language is quality time, I'm always trying to be with you. If you got to go to work, if you got to do this, I'll talk to you all the time on the phone. I'm with you. Oh, well, where are you going? You want to take a ride? Sure, I'll ride with you. Oh, well, you don't have nothing to do. Well, you want me to sit with you? I'll come there. I'll do this. I'll do that. Because I just want to be with you. I just want to be near you. I just want to be around you because that is enough for me. That's enough for me. Just your existence, your presence is enough for me if that is my... your undivided attention. If I'm with you and we're taking a drive and I'm going with you during your errands and this and that, that's good for me because I'm still with you. We're still together. So we're still taking advantage of that time. And then, of course, physical touch. So if my love language is physical touch, then I'm always touching you. I'm always trying to hold your hand, always trying to give you a kiss, want to give you hugs and, want to touch on you, feel on you, kiss on you, rub on you, love on you, rubbing your hair, all of those good things. So that's how we express our love. That's how we express to somebody. That's our way of showing another person how we feel about them. And there's nothing wrong with that. You're speaking the language that you know. You're speaking your language, your given language. So with the flip side of it is, we have to understand we may experience love in a different way, which is what takes me back to knowing your partner's love language. Because just because that's the way you speak, you're showing them all these things and you're doing all these things, and sometimes it's not received or it's not understood properly, or your partner may not be receptive to it because you didn't take the time to figure out what their language is. So you may be doing all these great things because you're showing me, in your mind, you're showing me, this Jocelyn, this is how you know that I love you, because I'm showing you an X, Y, and Z, and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. But if you haven't taken the time to understand what your partner's love language is, then most of the shit that you're doing is probably going over your head. Most of the shit that you're doing is probably annoying the fuck out of them. Most of the things you're doing are probably not being received or interpreted in the way in which you mean them, because I don't speak that language. So I don't experience love in that manner. I get that that's how you express it, but that's not how I experience it. So it's like a hit or a miss. It's like, whoa, I didn't even get that. All I see is you keep trying to touch me and I keep saying I don't even like that. So that takes me to figuring out what your partner's love language is, right? So you know how you express because you have taken the test to see what your love language is. And I'm gonna give y'all mine. I'm gonna be transparent and give you guys my results before the end of the show. Just so y'all know. Not that any of y'all are trying to date me, but any event that you were, or just so that I can, be an example. Jocelyn, be an example. Tell the people your business and let them know who you are and how you feel. And I don't know my exact numbers, but whatever. But when you figure out what your partner's languages are, then that's how you know how they experience love. Because you know how you express it, because most of the times you're expressing it in the way that you want to feel it. But you don't know what language they speak and what they need or want from you. That's what gets us to your partner. So when they experience, the way that they experience love, you have to understand that if your partner's love language is words of affirmation, and then your love language is physical touch, and you don't know that theirs is words of affirmation, and they don't know yours is physical touch, y'all gonna keep bumping heads. If you have a person like me, for example, so I'm gonna give y'all mine just to kind of bring it all home real quick. First of all, especially before my other device dies, I just want to make sure everybody gets everything that I'm trying to say. So real quick, my top love language, and I did the 5. I did the quiz, and they give you like all 5, and it asks like what's what, whatever. So my top one is words of affirmation. So that's my main love language. I have like a 10 in words of affirmation. Then I have acts of service, quality time, and then receiving gifts is like a 5 or a 6, and then my physical touch is 0. So me personally, I'm not a person of high physical touch. So somebody whose love language is physical touch and then mine is a 0 in physical touch, then it's going to, because I that's not how I experience or express my love. Physical touch is not for me. So for somebody, if I don't know that your language is physical touch and you keep trying to touch me, then I don't want to deal with you. I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to be around you. I don't want to engage with you because you're like bothering me, so to speak. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that you like to touch people. And there's nothing wrong with the fact that I don't like to touch people. But if you don't take the time to understand that this is not how I experience or express love, because now what's going to happen on the flip side is, perfect example, Natalie saying that hers is physical touch. Then you're not experiencing it from me. You're not going to get any physical touch from me, which means that you're going to feel like in your heart or in your mind that I don't care about you because I'm never touching you. But it's like, I don't speak that language, so I wouldn't ever touch you. I don't have any reason to do that. That's not my go-to action. That's not my go-to expression. That's not how I express my feelings. So you're not going to get that from me. And if you don't already know that and you don't take the time to figure that out prior to us, going on to this journey together, then you're going to feel like, hey, Jocelyn doesn't really care about me because she never touches me. She never holds my hand. She never, kisses me or, any of that fucking shit. And again, it's nothing wrong with it. But again, that's just not me personally. And I'm using myself as an example and I don't mind. So that's why it's important to not only know your love language, but then know your partners and go into it early, guys. And I'm telling you, sometimes people get, first of all, the word love throws people off. So can you stop? Maybe you should just listen. You know what I look like. It's very important to go into any situation, even sometimes with your friends, because some of us have little overbearing friends. My friends personally, they're not like too bad, but some of us, it's just how you show love in general. So it's not always just about somebody that you want to date or somebody that you want to sleep with or somebody you want to marry or be in a relationship with. Sometimes you just need to know people's shit. And we have to get more comfortable and open with asking people certain questions. Like, I want to know what's up with you. I want to know ahead of time. What is your whole thing? Like, I need to know everything about you so that I can know how to deal with you. Just like if you, and I use this analogy or reference often as well. If you're dating somebody that, you go into a situation dating somebody that just got out of a really abusive relationship, that's something that I need to know ahead of time. I'm a person that likes to yell and scream and do real elaborate shit, and I don't mean anything by it. But if I know you come from that type of situation, then I know how I am, then that's something I can be mindful about ahead of time. But if it just gets sprung on me and one day you just start screaming in the corner because I'm yelling, I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with her? You know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's all about knowing, taking that time to get to know that person prior to. Because honestly, this is the easiest thing. I feel like this is the easiest part about dating. If you take the time to get to know somebody's love language from the rip, like when you first meet them, it's like, oh, all this shit, it makes everything go smoother. It makes everything go smoother. So it helps you to understand what they're going to be looking for. So that's where we go into the experience. How they experience love. So you need to know, if you took your test, you would know how you express love. And you need to know and be aware of how they're going to experience the love. Because basically them experiencing just tells you what it is that they're going to be looking for. So I don't care, once again, if my love language is, is not physical touch, it's a 0 on physical touch, but the person I'm dating, their love language is physical touch, then I need to be aware, no, not that I can't change how I am or who I am. However, I need to be aware that they're not going to be receptive or they're not going to experience my love if I don't touch them or if I don't be mindful that that's something that they need. And I mean, granted, I can walk into the situation like, your love language is physical touch, and mine is not. Mine is 0 on physical touch, so it's probably never going to work because I'm not going to be able to give you that. then okay, I have that option and opportunity to just walk away. But you walk into a situation, and if you know what theirs is, just like we use the Chinese example, if you meet somebody, you like them, you love them, you want to date them, and they speak Chinese, what are you going to do? You're going to start taking some classes. You're going to order Rosetta Stone. You're going to be all at the Chinese store reading the menus, looking through fucking all types of shit. You fuck around, get their name tatted in Japanese. I don't know. But you'll do whatever it is you have to do because you want this person. You want this to work. You're going out of your way to make sure that some of these things can be attained. I'm going to do what I got to do to make sure I can get through to you. I need you to feel this love. I need you to know how I feel. I need you to know what's going on. I need you to experience my love. And I know the only way you're going to experience it is through physical touch or whatever whatever your main one is. So again, that's why it's important. Because just like we make some hella adjustments to be in relationships. I'm not saying like shit. I fucking had people say, oh, I really like you, but you're, but you didn't do this or da-da-da-da. Or, you've been with somebody and it's just like, damn, I really like them, but they live mad far. Guess what you're going to be doing? You're going to be all on the bus, all on the Uber, all in your car, wasting your damn gas and all that, driving to wherever they at just to spend some time with them or whatever the case, because I want this. So I'm going to make those adjustments. So again, if you take the time to know what their love language is from the beginning, then that's how you can adjust. So that's what we'll get into now. Just knowing your partner's love language in the beginning and knowing yours from the beginning, like before you even decide to date, and then knowing your partner's helps you to then make sure that everybody's happy. So this is how we get to successful relationships. If you know, again, taking that time to figuring that out, your partner's love language goes into so many things that revolves around your relationship. If you are a person that, and I'm just going to continue to use these as examples. So if you are, your main love language is, let's say, acts of service. So you're looking for something, the way you experience love is, I know that I need somebody to do something for me, help me out, try to help me out. Listen, can you pick up the kids because I'm running late, or I'm going to be doing this and doing that. I got homework, I got this and that. Do something to make. Can you fucking cook tonight? Doing something like that is going to light my load. That's going to make sure that I am experiencing love the greatest, right? Because you're taking time out of yourself to do something for me that I need to do for myself, but for you to do it for me and you don't have to means a lot to me. Now, if that's my main love language and that's the way that I'm expecting to experience love, and my partner never does anything for me, then lo and behold, I'm going to be in a relationship that I don't feel love. And it's that cut and dry. And it may not be that exaggerated or that extreme, but ultimately, that's how it happens. You feel like this person doesn't care about you, or you feel like they don't care about you the same way you care about them. And it's not that they don't care about you the same amount. It's just not the same way. So their love language may be that physical touch, or let's use a different one because I feel like I'm using the same one. That receiving gifts, perfect. So they may always buy you flowers, and to them, they're being thoughtful. They are showing you, babe, I love you. I always buy you flowers. I'm always, thinking of you if I'm out and I see, a nice bag that you would like. If I get a vase that you would like, if I get a picture frame that, whatever, I'm showing you in my way. But because that's not how you experience it, then in your mind, they don't feel the same way about you that you feel about them. And they do. They just have a different way of showing it. They're speaking a different language, which is why, again, it's important to know your partner's love language ahead of time. Because then you will be able to receive that and see those gifts and recognize that, no, this is their expression of love. But you need to also be clear and make it known to them the way you experience love, you're not getting. I don't experience love in the way that you like to give it. So we need to find a happy medium. And that's where it all comes down to. It's all about finding a happy medium. It's It's all about taking that time to know yourself and then know your partner and then meeting in the middle. Like, granted, none of us, we don't all have the same love languages. This is not me saying meet somebody that speaks the same love language as you. I'm not saying that. That's not impossible, but it's not that ideal. It's just all about meeting somebody that is willing to take the time to understand themselves and then understand your love language and being willing to try to kind of be fluent in your language as well. And if you know what theirs is, then you will be able to understand that they're expressing and it's just not the same way that you experience, but you still understand it because I know yours. Babe, I know you're not really touchy-feely. So if you know your partner is not a touchy-feely physical touch type person, and the few times that they do engage in that physical touch with you, you're going to feel it 1,000% because I already know. I know that's not your thing. So when you hold my hand when we're walking through the park or something, because your love language is quality time. So you think that us being together walking through the park matters, and that one time you grab my hand and hold my hand through the park is what matters to me. And boom, we have a happy medium. Boom, we have a happy relationship. Happy wife, happy life. Happy girlfriend, happy boyfriend. Let's pull over and fuck. Like, that's what happens. But it's just all about knowing. And it's not about you having to change. Again, I don't feel like, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, I don't feel like you can change your love language. I just think, because it's all about you. It's who you are. It's not a right or wrong answer. It's just who you are and how you do receive and express love. But knowing yourself and then knowing your partner helps you to make that relationship better. If you know that's something that your partner, needs, wants, and desires, then you're going to have to make sure and be willing. It's all about willingness, guys. It's all about willingness. It's not about you making yourself 1,000% uncomfortable just to make this person happy. That's not what I mean by, doing things for your partners so that they can experience your love better. But it's just about being willing. It's not going to kill you to hold their hand. It's not going to kill you to do the dishes one day or, cook for them one day or drop them off at work or, receive a gift, send them some flowers. It's not going to kill you, but it will mean the world to them because they know your language is not that. So it shows effort. It shows effort. It shows care. It shows compassion. It shows true love. When you are in a situation with someone that you are going out of your way to learn them, because that's really all it's about. Taking the love language test for yourself is learning yourself. Doing it for another person and getting to know theirs and getting to the bottom of it and trying to understand, that shows true love. That shows, you care enough about me to learn who I am and how I am and what is going to work best to cultivate my love. That's important. So when you do that and you take those steps, it just shows that you're investing in the relationship. That's really all you're doing is showing like, I'm in this. I'm in this, or this is something that I want. This is at least something that I'm taking a moment to figure out. Now, if you don't care about them and you just like, whatever, you're going to fuck them and duck them regardless, then don't worry about the love language because you don't really give a shit. But if it's somebody that you're even slightly interested in dating, because if it's somebody that you're even slightly interested in dating, it's important because the slightest thing will throw the whole shit off. You and this person can be mad compatible. Y'all get along. Y'all got a lot of the same likes and interests. They're really sexy. The sex is bomb. All those things could be there. They could be there, like right there. Like she the shit. I like her. But once you throw that love language in the mix and you take that time, that extra effort to understand the way that they're gonna receive you. And the way that you can, help them to experience your love in a greater and deeper manner, that's how you're going to get them. Like, get them. That's how you're going to get them. Because you have to do it. You have to take that time and figure it out. Because other than that, it's like shooting blanks. It's really like the equivalent to shooting blanks because you're pushing out, you're giving all your best shots. But if your best shots and the way that you're expressing your love is not the way I'm experiencing the love, then I'm not getting any of it. So I'm sitting here talking to my friends like, I don't know why but I just feel like she don't really care about me like that. Like, it just feels different. Like, I feel like I'm doing all this stuff trying to show her how much I care, how much she means to me. And, and I'm always, trying to spend time with her. I'm always wanting to hold her hand. She's always pulling away from me. I'm always, buying her gifts and this and that. And I try to do things for her, but, she just don't ever let me. And, I tell her how much I care about her and this and that, but she don't seem to get it. And it's just like, no, honey, I don't. Because you didn't take the time to figure out what I like. So I don't even know none of that. That went right over my head. That went completely over my head. And that's where the issue comes in. And that's when most relationships, they hit that rocky point. Because you just feel like that person doesn't care. But it's not that they don't care. It's just that they don't know. And you can't expect somebody to give you something that they don't know that you need, that they don't know that you want. And it's not even like closed mouths don't get fed. You could just be really upfront and open, but some of us don't even understand. If you've never taken the love language test, or you've never heard of it, or you're not aware of it, then you don't even know that that's what you want. Me speaking from experience, like I said, I just took the test a year ago. Do you know how many relationships I've been in my lifetime? And the first thing I thought when I took the test was, damn, this would have alleviated so much pain and heartache for me. So much pain and heartache, because I just didn't know. And it wasn't like you don't know what you want or what you need, but it's so simple, guys. I can't wait for you guys to all take it. And everybody that takes it, please send me your results, because I'm super excited. Just to see that it's so open, it's so eye-opening. But the first thing I felt was like, that would have alleviated a lot. If I would have just been able to articulate to that person or to my partner, hey, this is actually what I need or want, or this is how I receive love, this is how I experience love. So until I get this, I don't feel like I'm experiencing love. I kind of feel like I'm just here. What if you tell them and they still don't follow suit? Now, that's totally different. That's when you have to reevaluate the whole situation, come onto the table and figure out what you're going to do next. But it's very important, I feel like, if you know your own love languages and you take that time to evaluate that for yourself, and you take that time to figure out your partners and evaluate theirs, then y'all should be able to, because they're learning you and you're learning them. So if they do take that information and then still don't utilize it, or still don't try to at least work on it, it's all about the effort. It's not going to happen overnight. It's not going to be that easy. It's not going to be that simple. It's not just all about do everything I say. It has to be, a mutual reciprocation going on. It has to be, just like we talked about last week. Everybody, shout out if everybody was here last week. That, what's the word I use? I can't even remember now. But, just compromising. It's a conjoined compromise. I don't remember what term I used last week, but I know it was something along those lines. But it definitely was in regards to compromise. But it has to be a mutual compromise. I'm willing to hear what you got to say and hear how you express and experience love. And then for you to understand how I express and experience love. And then we can make sure that we're both experiencing it in the way that you're going to understand. Because if you really love that person, then that means you are trying to show them in some way, shape, or form. And, especially for relationships that are already existing, or that, you guys have been together for a while and you may not have. Some of you guys are in relationships right now that you never took the time to figure out your partner's love language, or they've never taken the time to figure out yours, or you don't even know your own. And if you were to stop today and you guys both do the test, I encourage anybody, or I challenge anybody that's in a relationship right now, whether there are challenges or not. If you and your partner have already taken the test, then clearly I'm not talking to you. But if you're in a relationship right now, whether things are going great or things are going horribly, or, things are at a rocky place, and you take the time to follow the link and figure out what each other's love language is, I think that it will at least spark it will ignite a better conversation between the two of you, a better understanding between the two of you, and it will at least help to, again, ignite that conversation, to start that conversation like, I never even realized, because like I said, most people don't even know their own love language, let alone their partners. Shout out to Just a Tomboy. She's the one that gave us the topic for tonight. So shout out to you, babe. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I did want to give you a shout out for bringing this topic to light because, like I said, I reference it a lot in the show, and I know she references a lot on her page, but I never done a whole show on it. So shout out to you for giving me this idea. I do appreciate you, as well as for being a faithful Talk to Me Tuesday viewer. But you know, a lot of us, again, we're nowhere near knowing our partner's love language because we never took the time to figure out our own. And again, if you take that moment, shit takes like 5 minutes. If you take that moment to figure yours out and then go the extra step to figure your partner's love language out, and y'all sit and really communicate, effectively communicate, I'm telling you, y'all shit will be lit. Y'all got something in my shirt? Sorry. Your relationship will be like extremely lit because now it brings a different sense of understanding. I'm not expecting you to speak the same language as me. I'm not expecting you to understand the way that I speak. I'm going to post it, but it's called the five love languages. You can Google it or whatever. It is a book, but I am going to post the link on my page, or I'll DM it to anybody that needs the link. If you need the link, just DM me when the show is over, and I will send it to you. Like I said, they're not sponsoring the show, but it's only one way to get it. So go on Google, or I'll send it to y'all, and maybe they'll sponsor another show. But yeah, it's just that important because it will really, if you're already in a relationship, it will turn the whole relationship around. I promise you. If you're in a relationship that's experiencing any type of turmoil, misunderstanding, seem like you guys just don't communicate well, y'all not seeing eye to eye, and you've never taken the love language test for yourself, or your partner has never taken it, or you guys have never, you know, exchanged or communicated results or anything like that, and you do, like, and you take that step to do that, I promise you that it will send you guys in the, at least in, to ignite a conversation, to bring you guys to the table to say, okay, this actually makes a little bit more sense. I understand why we're arguing all the time because I don't never do X, Y, and Z, and that's because I don't speak that language. You do. And you're overlooking all the things that I do because you don't speak my language, and it brings everything full circle, I promise you. So in regards to a relationship, it really, really, really makes a difference. You taking that test and you guys communicating those results to each other, it helps everything kind of, like I said, come full circle. It brings it all into play. It helps you to realize what you're doing. Not necessarily what you're doing wrong, but you get the chance to understand what they're not getting, and where the miscommunication was, and where the misunderstanding is coming in, and how come they're not grasping or getting what you're saying or what you're feeling, and they're not experiencing your love, and they're feeling ungrateful, or you're feeling unwelcome or unappreciated. It all comes back to that. So I definitely encourage anybody that's in a relationship, whether it's going good or bad, it can always get better. So which language do you feel you are the best and worst at fulfilling for your partner? So my love languages, I did try to get transparent with you guys. My love language, my top love language, this is the order and importance, I believe, because the test, basically the way it breaks down is it gives you like points. So it's like I think it's on like a scale of like 0 to 12. And basically how high or how important it is to you. So I got a 10 in words of affirmation. So if somebody asks me what is my love language, like as far as one single love language, I'll say words of affirmation. Which means it's very important for me to receive encouraging words, affirm your, like I need reassurance. I'm a reassurance type of person. Tell me how you feel. If you don't tell me how you feel, if I don't, if I'm not feeling that, in your words and your actions and shit like that, then I'm not going to get it. I'll give everything to you guys, but it's definitely on Google. You can search it. But I'm going to post the link in my Insta story, as well as DM it to anybody who needs it. I think I got a 6 in acts of service and quality time. I got a 6 in both of those. Which for me, I got a 6. This is 6 out of 12. I have a 5 in receiving gifts, I believe. I think it's like mixed up between acts of service, quality time, and then receiving gifts. They're all like really close. So receiving gifts, yeah, I like gifts, but I need the words more. And then I personally got a 0 on physical touch. So like I said, guys, you being transparent, I didn't take this test till last year, and I didn't understand why so many of my relationships, so many of the people that I was dealing with, they were so clingy. They always want to touch me and kiss me, and it's just like, I don't really like that. But I like you. I'm showing you in all these other ways how much I care about you, how much you mean to me. But because I'm not touching you, you're not getting it, or I'm not understanding that that's what you need, and I'm never giving it to you because I never took the time to understand that that's what you need. I'm talking about, let me see. Do you have the DM for the link? Yeah, I'm going to DM it. Do you find any difficult at giving to your partner? I'm talking about from your partner's perspective. Are you weak at giving words of affirmation? I will have to double check, but I feel like I express it. Me personally, and some people are not like this. So what I was gonna say, okay, so you find that difficult touching and stuff. Yeah, now, and it's different because I'm not against touching. I have noticed that if I like you, I will touch you. It's just that's not my go-to language. Now, this is where it all kind of comes full circle, because again, your love language is the way that you express and experience love. I am going to double check, but I don't technically, kind of, but we'll get to that. I don't have anybody to ask. It's the way that you experience and express love. So me personally, I am a person that I give what I want to receive, right? And again, that in itself is not always the case, because you can't, if you don't know that person's language, then they don't feel you. They're not picking up what you're putting down. So you're basically showing them, like, I'm a person, I will show you how you need to love me by me expressing my love to you. I'm going to show you love the way I want to get it back. And that's usually where most of us hit a brick wall. Because if I don't know my partner's love language, then I'm doing all that work for nothing. I'm just showing them my love, but they're not wrapping their brain around what I'm showing them. So they're not loving me right. And I'm not loving them right, because I'm not giving them what they need. And they're not giving me what I need because I'm trying to show them what I need. But they're not getting it because they don't understand my language, and they don't already know my language. Which, again, why it's so important as a couple that you both take the test and you communicate it properly to your partner. Because if your partner takes the test and then they never tell you their answers, and they just keep on showing you, because even before you take the test, you are showing love. Like, maybe before today you never knew about it, but now that I'm speaking on it, hopefully some of you guys are coming to light, like, oh shit, this is how I show love. You never wrapped your brain around the fact that, damn, this is just how I show love. But if another person doesn't speak that way, and that's not how they experience love, then they don't even know. I'm sure every single person on here can think of at least one relationship that has gone astray and that will have probably been a little bit more successful. And I'm not saying call all y'all exes and start, saying, hey, I know my love language and I'm sorry. No, that's not the situation. Life happens, shit happens, and here we are. But I'm sure we can all, agree that we've all had those experiences, that if we were more aware of our own love languages and then took the time to know our partners, a lot of breakups would not have happened. A lot of arguments may not have happened. A lot of relationships would still be together. Yes, I'm guilty as well, because it really is so simple, guys. It's just so simple. If you know how it is that you're experiencing love, and you just realize that you've been expressing love the way you wanted to experience it, but that person is not understanding, they're just not getting it, and it's just like, I keep fucking showing them, and I keep doing all this stuff for him, hoping that he turn around and do it for me. It's just like, honey, it doesn't work like that. It does not fucking work like that. You have got to figure out what the way that person experiences and expresses love, because if you don't take the time to figure out what it is that the way that they're going to speak to you, then they're not hearing you either. So not only are you not getting what you need, they're not even getting what you think you're giving them, because they don't know that that's what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? It's really, it is a vicious cycle, a very vicious cycle. And you just keep on doing it. Because we do give the way we wish to receive. And it's nothing wrong with that. But if your partner does not know, if they're not aware that that's how you wish to receive love, and they've never taken the time to understand your love language or get to the bottom of it, then you're not going to get it. You're not going to get it, and you guys are going to be in that vicious cycle, whether it's in the same relationship or you're going to continue to get into relationships, and it's just going to be like a waste of fucking time. A waste of time. So it's very important. I'll just say, if you're in a relationship, take the time to figure out what your partner's love language is. If you're single, just get to know what your love language is. Wrap your brain around that. Take the test for yourself just to understand, how is it that I show love? How is it that I experience love? What is it that I'm looking for? And I also, just before we go, I wanted to reference, because I know I spoke a lot about relationships today, but yes, communication is definitely the key. Communication is always the key. And if you know your language and you are okay with speaking that and experiencing it and translating that, because basically they use the terminology language for a reason. All you got to do is translate. A Chinese person, a person that speaks Chinese and you speak English, they're going to do what they can do to translate to you, just like you're going to do what you can do to learn their language. It has to be a reciprocated process. I'm understanding the way you learn and the way you understand, and I have to be willing to make some adjustments as well. I feel like the things I thought was important are not as important as I thought once things play out. Yeah, and honestly, you don't have to wait for things to play out if you take the time to understand your love language ahead of time. So for all my single people, if you are not single, or if you're just not in a relationship right now, or it doesn't even matter about the person, take the time to do it for yourself, do the test for yourself, and just remember that the love languages apply to self-love as well. Physical touch, things that make your body feel good. Focus on your physical well-being, whether it's massages, soft blankets, physical activities, spa days, stretching, skincare routines. All those are ways that you can show yourself love if your love language is physical touch. Acts of service, doing or arranging things for yourself that make you feel good, whether it be therapy, acts of kindness, cleaning, delegating, going out, whatever it is that make you feel good about you is an act of service and a love language that you can be showing and exhibiting to yourself. Even though you're single, it doesn't matter. You don't have to wait for this for somebody else. You could be showing yourself the same love and appreciation. Receiving gifts, treating yourself by purchasing something that makes you happy. Whether it's taking yourself on a trip, buying some craft supplies, comfy clothes, little gifts, indulgences, investing in yourself, get a new haircut, get some eyelashes, buy some makeup. Whatever makes you feel good about you, that's also you receiving gifts and purchasing gifts for yourself. So self-love can still be incorporated into the same thing. It's not all about relationships. Quality time, spending time alone, hobbies, and doing things that you love. So whether it may be meditating, hobby, or creative time, taking time for yourself, relaxing, taking yourself on a date, anything like that is how you can exhibit quality time for yourself. Self-love. Self is most important. And lastly, words of affirmation. Give yourself pep talks and encouraging yourself, whether it be positive talks, daily affirmations, journaling, mantras, anything that makes you feel good about you. Reaffirm to yourself how awesome you are, how lit you are, how much you love yourself, how much you love you. Tell yourself you're beautiful. Tell yourself, oh, you have really nice eyes. Oh, girl, you so lit. Oh, girl, you so smart. Whatever the case, reaffirm to yourself. You don't always have to wait for somebody else to do those things. So please, 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 I encourage everybody to take the 5 love language quiz. It is available on Google. I will post the link in my Insta story so you guys can all click. If you have not if you have not taken it already, please, I encourage you to check it out. If you've taken it for yourself and you're in a relationship and your partner has never taken it, I encourage you to have your partner take it, as well as then just kind of communicate experiences or communicate results and see how you can move forward. I just want to let you guys all know that I appreciate y'all for tuning in to Talk to Me Tuesday each and every Tuesday. Do not forget, this episode will be up on my page until the morning. If you came late, check it out. It will also be up on my YouTube. Also, Just Be You TV. The link is in my bio. Don't forget to tune in on Thursday to All Nighter, 10 to midnight. Other than that, I love y'all. Hope everybody enjoyed the show and hope everybody has a good night. Mwah.